What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Happy Monday, by the way, the start of the work week, as we all know it. Hopefully you guys have a good one ahead. Anyways, let's jump into this video here. We are going to be talking about the Queen's Fury tournament that's going to drop in about 4 hours from now. So what's really important about this is that it's not a turn attack turn attack tournament as far as we know. Just wanted to double check and verify a little bit that it wasn't actually a turn attack tournament. So from this little blurb here, it doesn't seem like it is. Up for grabs is the Hatter's Reserve relic material. Keep in mind that these relic materials are strictly just gambling. If you guys look at these as another form of shard, although they do have a slightly higher chance of happening than like shards pulling specific champions, they're basically like shards, right? They have like a bunch of RNG evolved for you to get it. So you're not even guaranteed to get this Hatter's Reserve relic. And frankly, it's not super great. It's good, but it's not super great. So it might not be too enticing for you guys here. But hey, it's up for grabs for people maybe not going for a Mad Hatter Fusion, for example. But don't let this get in the way of your Mad Hatter Fusion. If you guys are still needing, for example, Dungeon Divers points, you guys can cash in on some of the Queen's Fury points to go along with your Dungeon Divers. Keep in mind, CVC will be happening on Tuesday as well. So this is going to be hot and heavy for CVC, I'm sure. But yeah, make sure you guys manage your energy properly if you guys are planning to go for the Fusion. But in this video, we're going to be talking about a team that you can bring food into this Queen's dungeon. And the team that I'm going to show you guys is actually not on the test server. It's on the live server and it's on the alt account. And the big thing is it's the same team that I showed you guys in my latest video. And it's just a variation. We take away Shemeo and we add one food to this. So basically this spot that Shemeo was occupying before in my previous video is completely not necessary. Shemeo could be any damage dealer to speed up the run, or it can be a food champion as well. So here we go. You can definitely maximize efficiency by basically farming the hell out of this dungeon with one food. So at least you can make some food along the way, and there's no real penalty for you bringing a food along and building up that food, except for time. Unless you have unlimited energy, time is not the biggest factor that is the limiting factor. For example, the limiting factor will be energy and obviously gems and whatever to get energy. But time usually is not the limiting factor, so you just basically run this kind of team overnight, and then you'll be able to get through the runs with plenty of time. Let's quickly show you guys a run here, and then we'll talk through it real quick. But like I said, we did showcase this in the previous video, and it's very, very solid team. Mithrala basically solos the boss at the end. We use Seer to kill the ads. And when the ads are all dead, it's basically just lights out for Mithrala. I mean, lights out for the queen, sorry. So you see here, the food dies, and our team is still alive, but our team's going to be dead pretty soon. Nobody has healing except for Mithrala. The reason why we are on my alt account on the live server and not the test server on my main account is because I actually don't have a 6-star seer on my main account. The big thing is the 6-star seer is so powerful that it makes this dungeon really, really easy to do with this specific team. The reason why this team is so good is mainly because there's not too many fail conditions. You have Lydia here that can fail. If she misses the, I think if she misses both of the decreased defense and weaken on Kaja, and she somehow survives the Seer attack with very, very high health. And that's kind of the only way she can really survive. The freeze is irresistible, so there's no, there's no kicking out of the CC from Yakarl. Mithrala is a lock once you get it down to the solo stage. She's 100% complete. Doesn't matter how bad the RNG is, she's 100%. And yeah, so it comes down to kind of like Lydia placing the decreased defense and weaken, and whether that actually happens to kill off the Kaja. So you can always bring a food here. There's no negative if you're doing the tournament, for example. So that's a really good positive. At least you can build some food along the way. Let's let this finish up here. It's roughly about 2 minutes. Roughly about 2 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes. And this team is pretty flexible, right? So you have one food slot. You can literally bring any DPS you want that, whatever. It can help your run out or speed it up. For example, if I wasn't running food on this account, I would bring a newt. I would bring a newt. And that basically cuts the time in half. So if you take the food away, you put in a newt, then you're gonna have like a 1 minute run. And we're just gonna quickly break down the run again here, step by step. So on 2x speed here, we're gonna go with Yakaro. Yakaro opens with the AoE freeze. This is a 100% chance to freeze, guys, and it's irresistible if their turn meter is above 75. So if you look at the yellow bars, their turn meter is almost 100%. So it's just going to be 100% freeze, irresistible. That means he doesn't require accuracy, which makes him very player friendly to gear up. You're going to be placing the decreased defense and weaken from Lydia. Unfortunately, you can't really replace Lydia here. She brings a lot to the table. She brings the decreased defense and weaken, which helps your seer, get super strong. She also brings buffs. The reason why buffs are good is because the buffs make the queen attack, and you kind of want the queen to blow off her big attacks while the ads are frozen, first of all. So she's going to strip us, fear us, and then the team is tuned so that Mithrala will cleanse the fears. Will cleanse the fears off, and then everything will be fine. And then it's set up so that when Mithrala uses the cleanse, the queen will attack again, but her ads will be frozen, which means we won't take that much damage from the only unfrozen champion, which is Kaja. All right, so we're gonna do the decreased defense and weaken here. Everything lands, so it's all good. I guess the chance to fail is possible if Mithrala gets feared. If Mithrala gets feared, it's a 3% chance. If she gets feared, then she won't be able to cleanse. When she cleanses, it forces the queen into attacking. And in this case, we get the Timid and the Kaja attacking, but the Venus and the Cupidus are basically frozen, so they don't attack. And then we bring the Seer. Seer kills everybody. Well, Venus doesn't have the decreased defense. You see that? Didn't have the decreased defense there. So this is where, like, the rest of your guys gotta clean it up, right? The chance of fail here is basically if there's too many of the ads losing the decreased defense and weaken. If that happens, then it's possible that you can fail, but it should be very high win rate team, allowing you to bring some food as well. But basically that's going to be a breakdown. The way that the buffs are set up basically manipulate the queen into attacking using the abilities. But as long as you can get the fight down to this, it's basically a lock. All right, guys. So we'll come back at the end of this. Right, nearing the end here. If you have Brimstone, it's going to really speed it up here. So yeah, anyways, we were really slow in the beginning. Get rid of this. All right, so let's show you guys the team setup here real quick. We did showcase this in the previous video, so nothing really changed. Mithrala opens with the cleanse instead of the hex. The reason why I had a lot of questions in the comments why you don't open with this is because if the Kaja attacks, which she will, and then gets petrified because she has the hex on, then you're not going to be able to kill her with the seer. Therefore, you don't use this buff, you use the cleanse buff. And the way it's speed tuned, it works perfectly good. So Mithrala will cleanse after Lydia places her buffs, and then the queen does the strip and fear, and then the cleanse will come in. So it works out perfectly anyway, so you wouldn't want to use the hex anyways. 287 speed, that's not necessary. I worked out a range for her. She probably works somewhere between 265 and plus. 265 up until Lydia. You want her to go after Lydia goes, but not too slow, not too far away. Yakaro, he needs to be 301. He doesn't need accuracy or anything like that. You can build him in however you want. Ideally, you want him with a little bit of damage just in case an ad stays alive so that you can finish them off. But he doesn't need accuracy, which is really good. He doesn't even need books in this, which is even better because you just use it once and that's it. So I don't have him booked out. I don't have masteries on him. I literally just gave him 300 speed and called it a day. Food, you gotta put him in there. Unfortunately, you have to use presets with the food. You can't just slot him in. Seer, my seer is really fast on this account, but you definitely don't need this. I worked down to about 170 speed. So you literally could get away with quite a big range of speed for Seer. She just needs to go before Kaja goes. and the turn meter that you see on Seer is huge. It's way ahead of Kaja, taking her basically her second turn. So there's a big speed range for you guys to play around with. Make sure your Seer is strong enough. A 6-star Crushing Ren Seer is significantly super strong. So if you guys have this, I think most people that focused on blessings for the last, I don't know, 18 months or something, probably focused on Seer. Seer is one of the top champions that, I think most casual players probably would have focused on. Just because she's an epic, she's more accessible, she's more used. So if you have it, you probably would have 6-starred her. But she's really good here with the 6-star blessing. Yeah, like my main account, my main account Seer had 375% crit damage, and it's still not even close to the 6-star Crushing Ren. So Lydia here in a 9-piece protection. The speed is not super tight. You can just make her around, faster than a boss. 270, 280, it's fine. You want the accuracy though. About 500. So anyways, I'll show you guys some variations here that might actually work as well. So if you guys don't want to run food, you guys can run, for example, you can run a champion like Newt. If you have Newt, the run's going to be a minute faster, to be honest. If you are running issues with maybe your speed tuning, or maybe you're cutting it a little bit too tight, you could run Shemeo, and Shemeo will make it very close to 100%. So I did mention that Mithrala does get 3% feared once in a while, and that could mess up your run. So if you don't want that to happen, and you want to save the food champion, put Shemeo in. He'll make it 100%, closer to 100%, and then you can give him like a shield set or something, and then you can protect your champions, protect your team on at least one hit. The other thing you could do instead of Shemeo is actually go for champion, like, here you go, Doom Priest. So Doom Priest has a passive that allows her to passively cleanse off the fears, right? Passively cleanse off the fears. Just going through her passive here. So whenever she takes a turn, she removes one random debuff from them at the start of this champion's turn. So she will help you passively remove the fears. You have to make her faster than Mithrala. So it's a little bit higher gear requirement to bring Doom Priest. So that's kind of why I didn't bother showcasing Doom Priest, because Shemeo, you basically can bring a naked Shemeo in, and Shemeo would do better than Doom Priest. But if you bring Doom Priest in, you have to make sure that she's faster than Mithrala, which is faster than the boss, which is 265. So you need, a relatively higher speed Doom Priest to do the same thing as a naked Shemeo, basically. Quickly show you guys the gear pieces, show you guys the stats, show you guys gear pieces. Mithrala, minimum probably regeneration set, 15% per turn. I mean, you could probably get away with maybe 3 immortal sets, just because the Queen of Hearts doesn't hit very hard once you get to the solo stage. And my Mithrala is like super overkill, right? Like 100k HP. It's super overkill. You can probably get away with 60 or 70k HP. And it's totally fine. So, but make sure she has 500 accuracy. You can use her aura, it's plus 80. If you use War Master, it's going to speed up a little bit, maybe like 20 seconds or something. And it's going to help her finish off some of the ads. If you have counterattack accessories, that's going to speed up a little bit as well. But she's going to be the star of the show. Definitely good to have, decently geared, of course. Lydia here, you can see her. She's not even in a protection set. So I just wanted to show that without the protection set, it's still viable. It honestly comes down to how strong your Seer is. If your Seer is super strong, you don't need a 9-piece protection set on Lydia. The reason why Lydia had a 9-piece protection set on my other account is because, 75% of the time she will be able to save. She will be able to save some buffs, like protect some buffs, which means Seer gets to rip them off for some additional damage. But here, a 6-star Crushing Ren Seer, no problem. You don't need the protection set. You don't need that chance of extra, preserving of buffs. So a shield set here, the shield set gets stripped right away. So it's basically just to protect for like literally one hit. And this is just the build that I had her in for other content. War Master for her for sure, just get some extra damage. Everything else doesn't really matter. Make sure 500 accuracy, speed, decent range, 270 to 300, 270 to under your Carl, basically. We have your Carl here, basically built with whatever, just shooting to 301 speed, built with whatever, no masteries. no books. Works awesome from the clan shop, right? Anybody can get this guy. You just collect him over time. After that, he's really good for this. I don't think there's a better CC champion right now for this because his CC is irresistible, 100%, no accuracy. It's so awesome. It's awesome. It's perfect. It's perfect for this role, right? It's perfect. And he's a free champion. He's a champion anybody can collect in the shop. If you really wanted a Yakarl from day one, you can get him. You can get him, guys. And then here's my Seer. She's just in like lethal gear here. My main account Seer is in lethal and cruel, so it's extra 5% ignore defense. And my Seer on that account has like 50% more crit damage and hits nowhere as hard as this 6-star Seer. So yeah, she yeah, the crushing Ren at the 6-star is incredibly strong. For her, I got War Master as well, so she can pitch in some damage against the boss. The speed's definitely not that important. You can go for 200 speed, you can go for 190 speed, something whatever is more reasonable for you guys. I think you can go even lower, to be honest. But yeah, definitely a 6-star crushing Ren Seer makes this team a little bit of a joke, to be honest. All right, let's run it one more time. See if something weird happens, but everything should be good. CC 100% of the time, decreased defense and weakened landing. And then she gets triggered with the turns. Mithril comes in with the cleanse, and then she'll get triggered with the turn again. And then she ally attacks, but nobody is around. And then everybody dies, and it's smooth sailing. Smooth sailing, guys. Here we go. Brimstone, very important for Mithrala if you want to speed up the run. But yeah, like I said, guys, you can bring one food here. Smooth sailing. You guys are probably going to run this dungeon a lot during CVC. If you guys don't have infinite energy, you can at least pitch in some food there. Make some 40s, make some 50s, etc., etc. Be efficient. Be efficient. This is pretty nice. Like I said, this is my live account. This is what I'll be running. Yeah, just chilling. All right, and we'll be back for a stream come CVC time. So if you guys are interested in watching, you know, live stream for CVC, I will be streaming during the start of CVC. So make sure you guys drop on by. It's going to be on YouTube and all that stuff. But yeah, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button so you guys come back for more. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Hopefully this helped you guys a little bit more. It does bring a little bit extra efficiency if you guys are farming food, if you guys have a really good Seer. But yeah, I try to show you guys what can work without the 6-star Seer. It takes a lot of stats, takes more buffs, takes a little bit more, you know, 9-piece protection, for example. But if you have 6-star Seer, you're smooth sailing for this team. But anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great Monday. Let me know in the comments below how you guys are doing. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Boom.